But lastly, I think we want to go over is our Acolyte review. Acolyte came out about a week ago now, and we haven't discussed it at all, so I don't know your thoughts at all. So give them to me.
So yeah, the first 2 episodes came out. I have had quite the journey with my feelings about this show because when it first got announced, I think both you and I were like, hell
we're
yeah,
incredibly excited.
We're gonna get some characters who are Sith leaning, and we get to learn more about the Sith, and we get to learn more about what it's like to be the quote unquote acolyte or the apprentice of like a Sith dark force user. They're like, ooh, that sounds really cool.
Right.
And then we get, we're moving forward. They get the people who made like Russian Doll, and we're getting Carry On Moss. Sorry. Yeah, and we're getting one of the guys from Squid Game, and we're getting Daphne Keane. And we're like, ooh, this is seeming good. This is I'm excited. We get the poster finally, and it's like a lightsaber with a trail of blood. We're like, oh my god! And then the trailer drops, and
we're like,
it was a little underwhelming. And as the trailers have gone on and the marketing has gone on, I've gone,
more negative.
Like, okay, so we're going more into like a murder mystery, like who's killing the Jedi, which is cool. And I'm not gonna like one of the great things about this show is I actually do think that a murder mystery in the Star Wars universe as a TV show is a great idea. I think it's great.
I agree.
But the stuff's been going on. I hear really good reactions to it, but I don't trust Disney, and I don't trust Disney Plus shows anymore. So I'm like, all right, I will watch it, and I will take whatever comes to me. I don't know what to expect anymore. Right. Now, one of the great things that they did about this show is they did throw us off pretty much immediately. Like,
yeah, they did. I'll give them that.
I thought we were focusing on one character. We are not. We are focusing on 2 played by the same actress. Spoilers. And, sometimes you can do twins really bad, like really, really bad, really stupid. I was thinking back to another movie. I can't remember, but the typical like, then they have an evil twin sister, right. But this one was done. I think they're handling the twin thing fairly well.
It's a integral part of the mystery. I think that's what's so well done about that.
Yeah. And so I think that's done well. I know we're going to get more of her in flashbacks, but I'm not going to lie. I was like, Carrie Ann Matt. They don't bring Carrie Ann Moss in as a Jedi user just to kill her in the first 5 minutes.
I'm not going to lie. I was so upset, Zach. I was so upset. Like, she had such a presence to her in that first 5 minutes. Like, she was what I really wanted a Jedi to be. And she just had a great demeanor, and they kill her. They just kill her.
They do.
Like, at least give us a whole episode with her first, and then kill her.
I do think we are going to get more time with her in flashbacks.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
So it was bold. I give them that. It was bold.
Yeah, it was. Because I feel like a lot of people maybe are coming to this show for Carrie Ann Moss.
Well, she was such a big part of the marketing. So,
dude, on the Disney Plus banner, she's one of the main 3.
I know.
Like, what?
Which is not to say that it still can't be that just in like flashback sequences.
Yeah, it could.
But yes, I agree.
She was absent from episode 2, so
it was rough. It was pretty. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But I know we're kind of like just treading through like how everything's going, but right. Like, I don't really know how we want to do this, but I will say I like the quote unquote crawl is back. That was great. Do more of that. Crawl,
but it wasn't
a crawl, but do it. Keep doing it.
Yes, I think that is a good enough difference, or like visual distinction between the actual like Star Wars like official crawls, and then like TV show like era.
But it like it was like, okay, familiarness. I get to learn a little bit, like there's context to the thing that I'm about to watch. It feels like Star Wars. It's a nice little thing. Just do it more.
Yeah.
So we meet OSHA, which, by the way, occupational safety and hazard. Fucking, I can't believe that they named a character after
an OSHA violation. Yeah.
An OSHA.
yeah. Wild. But here's the thing. Props to this show, like again, because it got me and it got our friend Ryan like even worse, where we thought we were following the person who just killed Carrie-Anne Moss. Like,
yes, exactly.
And I was pissed about it. I was like, I don't want to follow this character who just killed a Jedi. Like, that's not what I want to do right now. And as she started getting questioned by Yord and her apprentice, or the apprentice, I was like, oh, maybe this isn't the same character.
Why would you be pissed? Because for me, I was like, because that's what threw me for a loop, was like, I still thought we were going to learn about this character who was like a Sith acolyte. And then I was like, I was so confused because I was, Yord comes aboard and is talking to her and like there's a familiarity and like she's like, well, I was here the whole time. And and then they get like at first
there's
I was
even
like,
things that make you believe that it is her, because she even says like one of the first things she says to her coworker is like, what I do on my own time is none of your business.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
And at first I was like kind of getting mad because I was thinking, well, this is a really dumb, like this character must be really dumb, or like, wow, we're just like jumping straight to like, well, you're in jail now. Like there's not much to it. And then, as time goes on, there's like little, like I was watching it with my girlfriend and I was like, she's like, oh no, we know that that's not her because the evil sister has longer hair. And I was like, does she?
She could tell? Wow.
She did. She has longer hair right here, just a little bit. Wow. And I was like,
that's some really,
well, holy shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. But yeah, anyways, I like all the characters. I think the characters are really great.
I think OSHA's great. I think my favorite character right now.
Her tool, Pip or whatever.
But yeah, that's really great. Master Soul is my favorite of the show so far.
Hands down.
So good. I don't know if you heard like the actor's prep for this role.
No, but it's his first English speaking role.
Yeah. And so he spent, like, when he was cast, he spent 4 months learning English to do this role. And he's a huge like Star Wars fan already. So he modeled this character off of Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah. I mean, you totally see it.
Yeah, for sure. And I love it. Qui-Gon Jinn's one of my favorites. Yeah.
And we're talking about Lee Jung-jae, by the way.
He's so good. He's got the poise and like, another one like in Dara. I was like, okay, they're getting the Jedi Masters right,
One quick criticism for this being, now there is slight differences for sure, but this being 100 years in the past, I was expecting the world and the people to feel and look a little bit different, and it does, but it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, Coruscant's not going to look that different.
Not Coruscant. Right. I'm talking about like the Jedi all still kind of look the same, minus like a few changes to the wardrobe. Like
wardrobe, I think is pretty different, to be honest.
I don't know.
I think there's some who have the traditional robes, but like others don't at all.
Yeah, I don't. It's small. Yeah. I just thought that the world would look a good bit different, but it doesn't. Right. It still like kind of still seems quite the same, which is it's fine. It's it's
Star Wars,
But I was like, would be kind of cool to see what 100 years beforehand looks like, but it doesn't look too different.
So yeah, we're also introduced to Vanestra Rao, who's kind of like, what's really odd is that she's almost playing like the villain of the Jedi. Where she is kind of butting heads with Soul, like Master Soul, through a good bit of this. And you do kind of get that theme throughout this, like the first 2 episodes, where you're like, the Jedi, I mean, and good writing, obviously, because the Jedi weren't totally in the right at this point in the timeline, and they were making a lot of mistakes. And I think it shows. Like they are full on acting like space cops, when that is not what the Jedi should be, you know? And Yord especially could not be more like any more space cop, you know? He is like, he had a relationship with Osha, and he kept referring to her as the prisoner. And I'm like, dude, like, you are friends with this woman, cut it out. You know?
But also, you know, going later on into episode 2, where we now know where May is going. Yeah. And then Soul's like, I know where May is going. We should go after her. I understand Venestra's like reasoning. Well, this might be bigger than that. We need to take time to think about this.
Right.
But it kind of, to me, spoke to like the, I guess, what would you call it? The, just the like huff and puff and like the political bullshit that like the Jedi eventually got caught up in, where like they didn't take action when they should have.
One of the first things that Vernestra Rose says to Master Soul is, we don't want our enemies finding out about this. It'll make us look politically weak.
Right.
You know? And I'm like, they care so much about the politics. It's you know, but that's the Jedi, man. That's what they became.
Right. And like you kind of see that with her character, with like not being like, you can't go pursue this, but you probably should.
So
you know?
my theory about why they chose Venestra for that role is because they didn't want to make Yoda like a villain like that. And they're like, okay, let's just bring in a new character that'll kind of fill those shoes, you know? But yeah, before we go more into episode 2, I had two more big complaints about episode 1.
Right. I'm not even like completely, I'm just jumping around, honestly. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, you know, she gets captured. She's taken into this transport ship. And
manned only by droids.
Yes. The droid chairs were dope. I like those. Yeah.
But we have this prisoner.
Right.
Who can affect droids with his mind. But we have him on an all droid ship.
Yeah,
and we don't impair him at all.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, there's definitely the Jedi didn't see that. But yeah, so like they all escape without her, and like I was so excited in that moment because you're like, what's she gonna do? You know, like the ship's crashing. There's no escape pods. Like what's the plan? And she just buckles in. She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna
but what do you
buckle in for this ride.
What would you do? You'd have to.
I know,
do that.
But like. She 100% would have died. She is crashing from space.
Yeah, I'm not like, you know, I'm there with you. Like straight up, I'm there with you for sure.
I couldn't believe that they went that route and we're like, yeah, the ship just kind of fell apart when it hit. That's it. You know, she's fine. No scratches. She's good.
Well, not also to mention, I need somebody to explain to me how the prisoners got caught.
Well, I guess they might have had tracking beacons on the ships.
What I'm saying is the prisoners got caught. Then
like insanely fast, right?
Well, well, here's the thing. I'm sure there's got to be some explanation, but like to me, the way it was conveyed was the prisoners got caught.
Yeah,
somewhat during the same time that we're also catching up to Osha waking up. The prisoners get caught. The Jedi then say there was no survivors there. Did that happen? Because the way it was conveyed to me was that was all happening concurrently. Are we assuming that the prisoners got caught and then they showed up there later and Osha wasn't there? But then at the same time,
they showed up there later after the prisoners were caught. But so they were saying, but
Jedi Master Soul was like eventually went there. So I'm like, did they miss her? Did they not see her in the wreckage?
I think what they said, I think what they were saying were like, they went to go like basically go through the wreckage of like the escape pods. And I think like they were like, oh, she wasn't in the survivors of the escape pods.
But I thought they said like there was no survivors in the crash of like the ship. I thought they were talking about the ship. I could be wrong.
It's very possible. But here's the thing. But Vanestra Rose says at that point, she's like, it's very unlikely that there are any survivors. So that implies to me that they didn't go to that crash site that she was at. And that's why Master Soul's like, okay, I'd like to prove that she's alive, you know?
Yeah.
But she also said, oh, sorry, go on.
Well, one of the criticisms I have with the show is they have really annoying editing.
Oh, okay.
The editing is bothering the shit out of me, and it's not.
Oh, you're saying like all of the kind of the George Lucas edits? Are you saying how it hard cuts at certain points?
Well, for sure, one of the things is, I get it. It's a Star Wars side swipe. Right. I don't need more. Like, I don't need one every 5 minutes.
Sure.
It's like, I get it. They're good when they're good for some sequences. Not every single time we cut to a new scene.
I think one of the most jarring ones for me was when she woke up after her dream and was like, "You'll never believe who I just saw," and then it like immediate like cut to another scene, and you're like, "That was a little fast."
No, and it keeps happening. It's not just the side swipes. It's just it's the same problem I had with other Star Wars shows, like when we had the fight scenes between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and then we cut back to the scene at the farm, and we keep cutting back and cutting back and cutting back, and all the scenes start to lose their momentum because we're not staying with a party long enough. Like it kept happening where like Osha would wake up, and then we cut to Jedi Master Soul, like, we're going to go to this place and we're going to talk for just a second. And then we're going to cut back to what, her adventuring out of the ship. And then we cut back to them on their way to going to find her. And then we cut back to Osha, and she's in this crevice, and then they all show up. And I'm like, why couldn't we have done this? Like, why couldn't we have just stayed with Osha for a little bit? Why couldn't we have stayed with we don't even need all those extra scenes with them on their way. It was implied that they were on their way.
Right.
And it would just keep happening where like all these scenes that started to have momentum would just be like edited to go to a different scene. And I'm like, oh my God, this is part of the reason why I hate these like 30-minute episodes, because they can't stay on a scene long enough for it to actually matter.
Yeah. I guess I noticed it a little bit, but not to the extent you did.
It just bothered me every single time I started to get invested in like what was happening. We just go to something else.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I think my other big complaint with this episode was the I don't know if you remember her saying like the reason why she didn't like escape with the prisoners is because she had faith in the Jedi. But the moment she sees a Jedi ship come to like rescue her in a sense, she
like, oh shit.
Right. Yeah. She runs, and then she sees her own old master and keeps backing towards a cliff and falls. I don't know. It was just such like contrived drama, like for drama's sake. And I was like, what are we doing?
Hannah was saying we'll get to it in episode 2, but like Jedi Master Soul was like, he knew that he had seen
May's death. Right.
Well, it wasn't that. It was that he was supposed to tell her that like he could have told Yord, I have evidence that Osha was not that person because she was here with me and like we've verified this. He didn't tell her anything. He's like, we're just going to this planet because we heard that there's this thing going on. But Yord's still under the impression that it might be Osha, but he like never revealed the information. It was only until Yord followed Osha and found that like Master Torben had been killed that he was like, oh yeah, no, I believe her. She didn't do this thing. But like,
the thing.
It was setting itself up for this drama that didn't even need to be there. He could have just told him. But
from what I remember, like early on in episode 2, Yord is still like, I don't know about this. Like she's dangerous. Like she could be, like she killed a Jedi Master. And Master Soul pretty much is like, the Jedi agree with me. She's innocent, And so I thought that is kind of where that plot line ended for me.
No, because he still was like mistrusting of her. That's why he followed her around.
Sure. That's fair.
But I was gonna say that along with things that like it's not. I wouldn't say this is a nitpick. I think this was like, I was like, that's insane. The jump that we just made, which was on their way to go find Osha at that planet. He tells them, no, May is dead. I saw her die.
Yeah, right.
And then
immediately
when he
like,
pulls her, I was like, you just told them in the same hour. Most likely.
I chalk it more up to the fact that like he's a Jedi and he could just feel the connection between his old apprentice and that she wasn't lying. Like that's just what I have to believe.
Can we admit that was bullshit?
Yeah, for story purposes, yeah, no, it's kind of bullshit.
Like that was like, what? I don't know. Anyways. I mean,
the last thing of episode 1 was the dumb like Sith just igniting his lightsaber for no reason.
Yes, thank you.
Like, what are we? Yeah, that's so dumb. Like, what are we doing?
Are you gonna fight?
Yeah, right. Like, why did you ignite it? You know, the only reason you should ignite your lightsaber is to kill somebody. You know.
Now, I think they could have done it in a different way, but I think the reason they were trying to put across
they
was
really
like,
wanted
that's the bad guy.
That's the Sith, right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, getting to episode 2, I think episode 2 does some really cool things. You have the third Jedi of that group that she's trying to kill in a sense.
With terrible makeup, Master Torben.
Master Torben. Do you know who played him?
Yeah, he's the Tommen
Baratheon from Game of Thrones. Yeah,
horrible makeup though. Horrible. He looked terrible.
I didn't think he looked that bad. I just thought he looked like a 30-year-old balding, scarred guy. You know?
Yeah, but like, why wouldn't you just get a 30-year-old balding, scarred guy? Why did we get?
I don't know. Yeah, he did look significantly younger than like Indara and Soul. But I don't know. I thought the like his whole like backstory is pretty dope. Because I don't remember what they call it, but like they you know who's talking the Jedi who's talking about Master Torben like says he's you know kind of been under this like not a spell obviously, but like this
meditation.
Kind of right and so from what I read about that, it's like you basically give like your entire self to the Force, and so you really have like no connection to this world other than like your body, and I don't know. I was like, this is a very cool thing to like pull from what I'm assuming is Legends and put it into the show.
But he also probably smells really bad.
Yeah, probably. Or the Force is like keeping the smell in, you know. But true. Yeah, I was like, this is a dope kind of thing that she has to get across.
Yeah, it was very cool. I did like it.
It was even cooler that he was so bothered by what had happened years ago that he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll drink this poison. I deserve it. Yeah. I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck happened?
These guys really did something bad.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not a bad payoff for when we learn.
Yeah, it better be horrible.
It better be really bad. Yeah. But yeah, I thought like my favorite part of episode 2 was Master Soul fighting against May. I thought incredible performance. I was almost way better than Indara's, like Carrie-Anne Moss's, because there are things he did in this fight where I was like, that's a true Jedi Master, you know, like him just being so fast that he just shows up behind her. I was like, oh, so good. So, and then like him stealing all the blades without her knowing, he's just one step ahead of her all the time. And then Yord kind of like just pulling that knife right out of her hand. I was like, these guys are really crafting a great Jedi fight and have great moves, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, and I like all the hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah, the hand-to-hand stuff's been really good, and I think it's not like it's forced because you have a villain who is only doing hand-to-hand stuff, you know, and so they're having to do that too,
which is a really interesting thing that I like. As much as there's things that I really like about this show. There's also things that I'm really kind of bothered and annoyed by.
Mhm.
So I'm a little like, if anything, I'm maybe like 70-30, 60-40 about it. Definitely more on the positive side of things.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But like the things that like the meditation, the what did I want to say? The May having to disarm and kill these Jedi without using weapons as some sort of potential Sith sort of practice, or this is how you become like, I don't know, what is that? Maybe that's just like like the person wants to prove something, or like that's how they want her to do it for a very particular reason. I don't know.
He kind of said it at the end of episode 1, where he was like, the person who can kill a Jedi without a weapon. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he says, but it significantly weakens the Jedi, like their stance,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. So that makes sense.
It's like all of that is really interesting and cool, and I love that. I just want to say that,
Yeah. Before you get more negative on it.
No. I'm not gonna be more negative about it, because like I really don't. I don't think there's much.
I didn't have a ton of problems in episode 2.
No, I thought episode 2 is quite good, except there was just a shit ton of side swiping and editing that I was just like, God damn it! Can we please stop it?
I also did think their plan to send Osha in as May was a terrible plan, because I'm like, you have no idea how she acts. Like, you can't possibly act as May, Yeah,
no. Like, that was a bad plan, but it was definitely, I thought it was better than Yord's plan.
What was his plan?
His plan was just to like straight up like go in there, I believe, and like arrest the dude and like tell and get him to tell where she is or whatnot. But like, as much as it was a bit of a definitely flawed plan, because like she was obviously acting really weird. At least like they did get some like audio recording that there is somebody else in charge of everything.
Right. That's true.
And that character, the one that like makes the concoction, and he kind of reminded me of like an Ezra Miller type person for some reason.
He totally did. Ryan and I had the exact same comment. We're like, that's just Asian Ezra Miller.
The more I think about it, I'm like, nah, the dude in the mask is not that dude, right?
No.
But could it be?
I'd be pretty upset, to be honest, because I don't even know how I feel about that character.
Yeah, which character?
The scummy poison guy.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is like, because I was like, maybe he's just like really good at deceiving people, which I'd be like, fair enough. Like,
yeah.
But I don't know what's up with like this Sith dark side user with like a mask, and also like the deep voice just this time around sounds even dumber, honestly.
Yeah. I'm hoping that there is a mask takeoff at some point.
Well, there's gotta be, but like, I want to know why there even is a mask.
Right. I mean, because the problem I had with Kylo originally was that he had no reason to have a mask. He just wanted to be like Vader.
Right. But that was inherently part of his character. Like that was a part of his character.
That was the reason why he had a mask. Right?
Yes, he wanted to be.
So you just need a good reason for this guy to have a mask.
I need a good reason for this person to have a mask.
Sure.
I need one, because if not, I'm gonna be like, well, why couldn't we have just had somebody be cool like Balin? Yeah, or was it Balin? Balin's
Love me some Balin, man. Yeah. No, I totally agree. But yeah, I definitely don't dislike this show. For the most part, I do like it, and I think there's some really great action, some pretty good story.
But this is kind of the same thing that we said about like Ahsoka at first, and that's why I'm not trying to.
I agree. Look, Ahsoka blew me away at first, and then the last 2 episodes really brought it down for me. So hopefully there's a good finale attached to the show. But yeah, I'm just excited for next episode. We'll get to see Kanaka like officially.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's one of the 4 Jedi that May's hunting, but
he is. Yes,
he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
And also Daphne Keene's character Jackie.
She's cool too.
I really like her.
I honestly wish we had gotten more of Yord's apprentice. Her name was Tassie Loa. I liked her design. I was like, oh, she's cool.
Yeah.
Because like I think the dynamic between like a fresh like Jedi Knight and his new apprentice is like pretty rich story wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Yord's a funny
I don't like Yord
character,
but like he it's not like the actor's fault. It's just that's just how he was written. He's a little narc. He's a little goody two shoes.
But I like that. Like he's got like a Sokka thing to him in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like he's really strict about things, but he's also kind of a goof.
Sure. He is a little bit of goof. Yeah.
Like I love that moment where like Jackie's just like, put your clothes on, your.
Yeah. I like that Jackie isn't a huge fan of him either.
Yeah.
It's like she gets it.
She's like, but it's Yord.
Yord. Do we have to take Yord? But yeah, I don't. How many episodes does this show have? Do you know?
Probably 6.
Well,
we'll look it up. Let's see. Oh wait. Is that true? Hold on. How many? Let me look it up.
Okay.
How many episodes of the Acolyte? I don't know if this is actually going to give me any. Well, I did see on IMDb that I
heard it was maybe 7, right? Or no?
Oh, it looks like there might be 8.
8? That's great. Well, that better be the case.
There are 8 total episodes. Wow. Okay.
Nice. Look at Star Wars. Finally.
Whoa. Maybe let's drop the 30-minute episodes and then we'll start applauding them a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Go to an hour, like House of the Dragon's going to be.
But I will take 8 over 6.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement. Yeah.
Because I thought we were a third of it the way done.
Now only a quarter through. So
that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. It makes me feel better too.